BJ from Board Game Gumbo. I've got my guest here, Helaina Cappel from Burnt Island Games. We got one last game I want to talk to you about. Let's see if I got the right one. Is that
That's it?
Yep. Oh yes.
That's it.
So I haven't played any of Shem Phillips' games. I feel like it's a hole in my game experience because I love worker placement so much, and he and his partner they're tweaking it in every single one of his games. Tell me, did you like Architects of the West Kingdom? It's getting some controversial reviews. I'm curious to hear what you say.
You know what? So when I think about a worker placement game, I go back to the reason I got into gaming in the first place. And it's the oh God, what is that game called? Stone Age. That was one of my first games, and I loved it so much. And I haven't played it in years and years, and I feel like I'm sort of past that. But if somebody asks me, I would play it again. I kind of feel like it has the same sort of vibe, but it's a lot smarter. There's a lot more depth to it. It's there's an interesting
updated
tweak to it. Updated. This is the only Shem Phillips game I have played, so I can't say anything about the rest of it. And I've actually only played it a couple of times, but both of the times that I played it just was completely engaging right from the beginning for me. His art is so consistent between all of his games, which is also really nice, and that's what's intriguing to me to be playing some of the other ones. But what a fantastic game. I really, really, really enjoy it.
Yeah, I can I tell you this? This is one of those games, and there are not many of them. This is one of those games where I have been wanting to play these games because of the covers. Right. That's crazy. I mean, normally a cover doesn't make me want to or not want to play a game. I played Stefan Feld's games, and half of those covers are just so boring.
Yeah.
Concordia is one of my top two games. Is my number 2 game of all time, and the cover is just not very good. But his covers, I don't know what it is. I don't know the artist, but whoever's doing the art, it's like you said, it's consistent. It seems born out of the same world, even though they're not.
Yep.
I just love the way that the presentation is for all these games, and it's made me want to play the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Really, really, really beautiful.
When you guys are thinking about a game for your own publishing company, have we flipped it on the table where the cover of the box is so important? Have you found that in your publishing world?
100%. Again, if it doesn't catch your eye on the shelf, you're never going to pick it up. It doesn't matter how good the game is. There's so much competition these days that you have to do everything you possibly can to make your game stand out. And the number one way is to make that cover beautiful and to make your components beautiful and different and feel good. And because you're so gaming isn't just mechanisms. Gaming is a variety of experiences that are tactile, that are visual, that are interacting with the mechanisms, and they all go hand in hand. And I think that really 100% that cover has to be striking.
Yeah, so the presentation has to be there to get me excited about the game, it seems like nowadays. But the gameplay has to be there to make you want to bring it home, to make you want to introduce it to your friends. There's a certain game, I won't name names, but certain game that did a fantastic on Kickstarter. It's from a guy that knows a lot about how to run a Kickstarter project, and that game looks amazing on the table, and it is so boring. I mean, it's basically a card game that's dressed up with a bunch of miniatures, and they could have done it as a little tiny box card game at Target for $10 and had the exact same game experience. And I just kept saying that there's sizzle, but there's no steak. I need some steak, right?
But it is sold very well. I mean, I know which one you're talking about. It has sold very well, and it continues to sell very well because of that extra experience that you get. That, it's beautiful on the shelf. You get it to the table presence is unbelievable, and
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that Architects. Oh man, I'm gonna get in so much trouble here. I'm hoping that Architects. You know what? We're gonna edit this out. This is not a live show, right? Well, Architects of the West Kingdom. I'm hoping that Architects of the West Kingdom are gonna have is going to have a much better experience than the one I had with that one. So let's go to some of the comments so I can jump out of this parachute. Yeah, there's a good tension built up. Jeremy says, Ninja says, between having a bunch of workers at a location and having too many. Yeah, I've heard that. They've got this jail mechanic where if you invest too much in one area, sort of like investing too much in components and forgetting about the gameplay in certain Kickstarter games, there's a good tension built up. And you found that's one of the things that intrigues me. Does it work? Because some people have said,
absolutely.
It does work.
I mean, it's also very punishing, which is scary. I don't like to be punished when I play games, but you have to balance, and that's part of. I mean, that's what you're supposed to be doing in the game. So
you said something right. I'm a fan of Lorenzo, but I much rather Coimbra, and the reason is because Lorenzo beats me up by the end of the game. I just I'm like, gosh, I'm struggling to finish. I always forget the name of that track. It's Piety or something like that. And you're constantly thinking about it. And in Coimbra, I have so much more fun because I'm not so stressed out.
Right.
That's what Steve says. Steve may have it hit the nail on the head. The artwork on these Shem Phillips games strikes me as a love child of stained glass windows and Kim Possible. So it does. Are you familiar with Kim Possible?
Yes.
Disney Channel show that was on forever. But he's right. It's got those angles. Right. It's got the angles in the cover and the big bright colors. Nicely done, Stephen. Nicely